What if you could get paid to grow your newsletter? Recently, I've heard stories about newsletters that are so good at monetizing their sign-up flow that they can actually earn back more than it costs to acquire each subscriber. That sounds completely nuts, like a straight-up money printing machine. But what if it's legit? I'm putting it to the test by spending $2,000 of my own money on meta ads to grow my newsletter next week. Now that means I've got exactly 3 days to figure out how I can monetize new subscribers right after they sign up. If I pull this off, it means that I can put $1 into meta ads and earn more than $1 back. I'd basically be getting paid to grow my newsletter for free. But if I blow it, well, that's $2,000 of my own money that I really need for my wedding in September that's going to go up in smoke. So, am I about to build a free cash machine, or am I going to need to tell my fiance that she's got to find 10 people who aren't invited to the wedding anymore? Let's find out. First, I need inspiration. How are the best newsletters out there today monetizing their sign-up flows? It's time to sign up for some newsletters and see what I can steal. Okay, so this is crazy. I've just signed up for about 200 newsletters, and I found not one, not two, but 3 different ways that they're making money right when a new subscriber signs up. Let's check them out. So first up, we've got something called paid recommendations. Take a look at what happens here when I sign up to Tom Brady's newsletter. Straight away, we get this pop-up with other newsletters that I might like. And here's the genius part. If I become a regular reader of those newsletters, they'll actually pay Tom a few dollars for referring me. So how much can you actually earn if you add a paid recommendations widget to your newsletter sign-up flow? Let's go straight to the source. My friend Colton runs partnerships at the biggest paid recommendations platform, Sparkloop. So I called him to find out.
Hey Colton. So I'm doing the quick math on paid recs, and basically it's saying that if I add the widget to a landing page, then it's going to show up to 5 newsletter recommendations. And each of those recommendations is supposed to pay like $2 or $3, right? So if I add all of that up, is it legit that I could actually be making $10 to $15 every single time when someone subscribes to the newsletter?
Could you imagine $10 to $15 every time someone signs up? So that might happen very occasionally, but think about how new subscribers behave. On average, about half the people will choose to not opt into any of the recommendations, and then the rest might only choose 2 to 3 recommendations of the 5 available. And then about half of those won't actually become engaged subscribers, which is what the recommended newsletters are actually paying you for. So the real number could be a much lower.
Dan, that makes sense. How much can I actually earn from paid recs?
So it really just depends on how valuable your target audience is to those other newsletters that are paying you. Newsletters earn a lot more from an audience of senior software engineers than they would from someone like a stay-at-home mom. So they can pay a lot more for these senior software engineer subscribers. Our data shows that Sparkloop pays out 2 to 5x more than any other paid recommendations platform out there. So on average, you're looking at somewhere between $1 to $1.50 per new subscriber to your own newsletter. But it could be a little bit lower or much higher depending on who your audience is.
Got it. Thanks, Colton.
$1 to $1.50? That'd be a huge start. Facebook ads for most newsletters cost about $2 a subscriber, so it sounds like paid recommendations could already get me more than halfway there. And we've still got 2 more instant monetization options to explore. Let's take a look at number 2, tripwire offers. So, most of the newsletters I signed up to while I was researching the video had a really bad thank you page. After you subscribe to their newsletter, they do something like just show a quick confirmation message, or they'll show you a default thank you page. But if you think about it, that is a huge missed opportunity. Your ideal reader just subscribed to your newsletter. They've got momentum, they're excited, and you give them nothing? Well, that's not what the best newsletters are doing. No, they're using that momentum on the thank you page to give the new subscriber a great paid offer. Something that is such a no-brainer deal that they take out their credit card and they pay instantly. That could be a paid product. For example, when people subscribe to James Clear's newsletter, he prompts them to go and buy his best-selling book, Atomic Habits. And if you subscribe to Justin Welch's newsletter, he'll offer you a 60% discount on one of his paid courses. But it doesn't just work with products. It works with memberships and paid newsletters too. Take a look at MarketBeat. They earn over $20 million a year from their newsletter. And a huge part of that, it's this 50% discount that they offer new subscribers right after they sign up. So how well do these tripwire offers work? Can they help me reach my goal of $2 per subscriber? I reached out and asked a few newsletter operators doing this just how much money they make per subscriber. And they weren't really super excited to share those details about their business publicly. But behind the scenes, they did let me in on the range, and it was pretty crazy. From almost 50 cents on the low end to upwards of $5 per subscriber on the high end. Now, I don't want to overhype the opportunity here. That $5 plus per new subscriber newsletter, it's probably a huge outlier. They've got an incredible product in the finance space and a super high value audience. But even at the low end, just 50 cents per new subscriber, that would still be a huge deal for me. It's a quarter of my goal of $2 per new subscriber. And together with a potential $1 to $1.50 from paid recommendations, that's all really starting to add up. This could be legit, which is lucky because monetization option number 3 that I found is a lot more risky than the first two. You see, paid recommendations and tripwire offers, they're pretty common. Nowhere near as many newsletters are actually using them as they should be, but still, in just one day of research, I found like 20 or 30 examples of each. But this last monetization method is different. It is way under the radar. Out of hundreds of newsletters I looked at, I could literally only find 3 that use it. But in my opinion, it has huge potential. Let's take a look. Check out what happens when you subscribe to the I Hate It Here newsletter. You're taken to this welcome survey, and one of the options is to get a free resource from a partner, the brand BetterHelp. What's going on here isn't obvious, but it's super smart behind the scenes. The BetterHelp brand knows that anyone subscribing to the I Hate It Here newsletter is probably a good potential customer for them. So they make a deal. When a new subscriber checks the box saying that they want BetterHelp's free resource, BetterHelp gets that subscriber's email and pays the newsletter a few dollars for that lead. This is called lead generation, or lead gen for short. And it doesn't actually have to be this subtle. Take another look at MarketBeat's subscription flow. Before you reach that tripwire offer we talked about earlier, you actually go through pages and pages of exclusive free offers, and some, if not all of those, are lead gen. They're offers from partner brands that are paying anywhere from $1 to $100 plus per lead. Lead gen sounds like it has the potential to be a game changer, but it's also a big risk for my own experiment. Unlike paid recommendations and tripwire offers, we don't have any idea how much money newsletters are actually earning from lead gen, and there's no off-the-shelf software like Sparkloop for paid recommendations to make it easy. If I want to test this out, I'm going to need to build it myself, and that is a big investment with just a few days. Okay, so the challenge is simple. I'm going to set up our 3 monetization channels in my own newsletter sign-up flow, and the goal is to earn back more than $2 per subscriber across those 3 channels. If I can beat the $2, which is what I think it's going to cost me to acquire the new subscribers using ads, I'll basically be getting paid to grow my newsletter. So I've just done the easy part and set up Sparkloop for paid recommendations. It took me about 20 minutes, and now, whenever someone subscribes to my newsletter, they'll see my recommendations widget and hopefully they'll try out some of the newsletters that get me paid. Now for the hard part. First, I need to build the thank you page where subscribers can see my lead gen free resources and my tripwire offers. Number 2, to make this work, I'm also going to need some brands that want to pay me for my leads. I guess it's time to get selling. Okay, good news first. I found 5 brands in the newsletter space who've agreed to partner with me for lead gen. But there's bad news too. This is a really unique channel, and none of these brands have ever done something like it before, so they're a little bit worried about how much they should be paying me for those leads. They've agreed to pay between $1.50 to about $5 per lead, and that's less than half of what I was expecting and what I think they're worth. This could be a huge blow for my goal of $2 per subscriber. We have to get everything in the rest of the flow working right. Okay, I'm feeling pretty grateful to our future AI overlords right now, because I'm pretty much someone that you'd call a non-coder. But with the help of an AI tool called Cursor, I actually managed to build out the post-subscription flow that I want. Here's how it works. First, the new subscriber signs up on my landing page. Next, they see the recommendations widget that I set up with Sparkloop. From there, they go to my new thank you page, which has 3 stages. Number 1, I ask them 3 quick questions. I'm doing this so that I know which lead gen and which tripwire offers to show them. Then number 2, I ask them which free resources they most want to unlock. Most of these are going to be lead gen offers that are paid for by my partner brands. And 3, finally, I show them the tripwire offer that I hope that they'll buy. I had a few ideas for tripwire offers, but honestly none of them were great. In the end, I decided to switch between 2. A discount on my paid membership club and a paid strategy call for more advanced readers. Now it's the moment of truth. We're all set to put this live. I'm about to set my $2,000 budget up on Facebook, and we'll check back in a few days to see what happened. Okay, so it's been a month and the results are in. I've spent almost exactly $2,000 on Meta ads, and I acquired 1,097 new subscribers for the newsletter. That works out at exactly $1.82 per new subscriber. So let's find out how much of that I'm earning back from my new welcome flow and how much is gone forever. First up, it's paid recommendations. From those 1,097 new subscribers, Sparkloop's telling me I made $1,210. That's $1.10 per subscriber, just over halfway there. And next we've got our tripwire product. How much did we make from that? Well, 10 people did opt into the paid membership deal at $49 each, but embarrassingly, absolutely nobody bought the paid strategy call at all. So that's a total of $490, or about 45 cents per new subscriber. Now, if we add that to my $1.10 from the paid recommendations, we're now up to about $1.55 per subscriber, which is still 27 cents away from the break-even point. So now everything is riding on our last monetization option, lead gen. And this is the one that I was most nervous about from the beginning. It is totally unproven, and it could lead to literally $0. Okay, I've crunched the numbers, and it's $1,224 in total from lead gen. That's another $1.11 per subscriber. It's the top performing channel. That takes us to $2.66 per new subscriber in total. That's not just break even, that's actually a profit of 86 cents per subscriber. So I think it's safe to say you actually can get paid to grow your own newsletter. And if you want to do the exact same thing, I'm giving away free access to the tool I built for you to use it to monetize your own newsletter. Grab it from the link in the description.